Welcome back to another episode of Bobby's World. We got another explainer video for you guys today. Today we're going to be covering the Amazon Web Services, AWS servers. This is for all you people who really want to cook. I know it's about bots, I know it's about proxies, but you know what? You ain't winning if you ain't on the best servers there are. AWS is one of the best, so check this video out. Full explainer, everything you need to know to get you started. And if you stay tuned, we got a little tip or a little trick at the end to make sure you stay cooking ahead of the game, ahead of everybody else, baby. So let's get it. Welcome. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. Again, today we're going to be going over the Amazon Web Services, AWS server setup. This is going to be for those who are running bots, anything automated that they want to have the fastest speed, run continuously, whatever it may be. You can also use this to gen proxies, which will be covered in another video. But for today, we're going to do just the basics here with Amazon Web Service. So what you want to do is start out here. It's aws.amazon.com. If you don't have an account, you're going to want to sign up for one. I'm not going to cover that. It's pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to go into here, sign into the console. If you don't have an account, create a new AWS account. Click there. If you do have an account, you're going to log in here, put your email, click next, put your password, sign in. That's going to take you to, this is your dashboard page. A few things here. One, let's start with billing. So if you click here on your account name, my billing dashboard, the reason I bring this up is because you can find Amazon Web Service discount codes, AWS codes, that can save you quite a bit of money on these servers. So for this example, this is a new account I got, and what I'm doing is moving my main server with all my bots over to this new account, and because of what you see here, for a little over $300 I was able to land over about $1,500 in AWS credits. So that's I'm paying 1/5 it comes out to cost wise. So let's go back home. So for starters, what we're going to want to do is we're going to create a Windows based server. With that, we're going to want it to be an EC2. So you see here, if you click services at the top, click EC2. That's going to pull up your dashboard again for the EC2 server types. What you're going to want to do is, one, make sure here, choose your zone. I recommend Virginia, because this is going to be where Shopify is based out of, and a lot of the sites you're going to be botting on is Shopify. So Virginia, you could do any of these four, but I generally use Virginia for my Windows servers. From there, you're going to see down here launch instance, or you can come over here and click on instances, but just click launch instance. You'll see launch instance. And now this is going to give you all your operating system types. There's hundreds, if not thousands, to choose from. Tons and tons. You'll see a few Windows, Linux, some you recognize, some you don't. Really the one we're looking for, generally speaking, is this one here, the Microsoft Windows Server 2019 base. Occasionally some bots require a 2016, so you just scroll a little bit further and you'll get to those. There you go. So for our purposes, all my main bots work fine on 2019, so we're going to select that. Make note that this is a 64-bit, so when installing stuff, you make sure you use those installs. So we're going to select that. For server type, I always recommend you change your filter by to computer optimized. This is going to really provide, let's see, higher rate of vPCUs to memory, lowest cost of CPUs, things like that. So really the things that our bots are going to be using, batch processing, web servers, all that stuff, computer optimized. As for type, this will change, and I'll explain that later. But to start, let's just start with the first one, the C5N large. This gives you 2 CPUs, 5 gigabytes of memory, nothing great. Here's the one thing I really like about these is your network performance. Of course, this will be throttled by your proxy speed, but let that be the throttle. Don't let your server be the throttle, is my theory. And most people run on the 10 gigabytes, so it's always nice to be a little step ahead of most people. So we'll start with the first one, C5N large. All this stuff is fine. You can configure it more, you don't need to. So just to keep it simple, we'll just, from that, we will choose review and launch. This does give us 30 gigabytes of storage, and we're good there. So you're going to click launch. From here, this is your security key. I would recommend, it's up to you, create a new key for a new key pair for each instance. This way there's no security issues, or if you lose the key pair, you're not out of all your servers, maybe just the one that was on that key pair. So for this, you just create a new key pair, choose the name. So this one is going to be my super server, let's call it 2021. Make sure you download the key pair. You'll see that'll download to your download folder. Launch instance. Boom. Instance is now launched. So charges, you can create billing alerts, where I can do all that. So from there, we're going to click view instances, and this will take you to my North Virginia instances. I currently have one running. It's AYCD. That's where I run my one-clicks and my proxies. So we have that. You see that's a C5N large. It's in the same zone, I guess, just a different number, whatever that means. From here, you do want to name this just so you don't lose it. So Super Server 2021. The other thing you want to make sure you do before you download the remote desktop file is you need to assign an IP to this server. So to do that, you're going to come over to the left side panel, come down to Network and Security. You're going to see Elastic IPs. Click on that. From there, you're going to want to click Allocate Elastic IPs. This is fine unless you have your own IP. Amazon pool of IPv4. Allocate. So boom, now we got a new IP. You see it here. I may or may not blur that out. I probably will. So once you do that, you do want to come up here. Once you see your new public IP, you're going to want to go to Actions, Associate Elastic IP Address, and choose your instance here. So I already have one for AYCD. We want the super server. This is the one we just created. Choose that. You want to associate it. What this does is this gives us a constant IP address. So now this public IP address, if I have IP authorized proxies, whatever it may be, this IP will be to this server. It won't ever change if I close the server or anything like that, unless I release it, disassociate it, which we're not going to do. So come back over here. We can go the left side panel, choose instances or services, but instances. So we're good. This is running. Now we're going to need to get our password for this. So right click anywhere on this bar. You can right click. Gives you tons of options. We'll go over some of them. In this video, we'll go over others in other videos. But for this, we do want to just click connect. And then this is going to give us our, first and foremost, download remote desktop file. Get that. Once you download that, I recommend taking that, moving it to your desktop, and giving it a name, preferably the name you've been naming all along. So there's that. So when we click on that, you'll see when we go to open that, it's going to ask us a few things. We'll get into this later, but here, we'll do that later. And then next is going to be get password. So if you recall, we did download that key pair. So from there, you want to find the same. It gives you the name. Find it in your computer. So boom, it's going to pull up here, decrypt password, and now this is your password here. So your username is always administrator, and this is your password. Don't share this, don't give it out, for all the obvious reasons, security, things like that. So you want to copy that. You click the little button here, it'll copy. You can take that to your clipboard if you want and put that in a text document temporarily, or you can just go ahead and open up your server. So for this, when you double click on it, it will load up the remote desktop connection, ask you if you want to connect anyways. I like to click this so it doesn't ask me this every time. Don't ask me again. Click connect. Boom, here it asks for the password. Paste that password, click remember me, and then you shouldn't have to put your password in again. Click OK. It's going to ask you again, do you want to connect anyways? Don't ask me again. Yes, I do want to connect. And boom. Now we are on a fresh Windows 2019 Amazon Web Services server. Once this loads up here. So there you go. We're live. Nice and easy, right? Well, not so fast. Let's not make this discoverable. With this, we do, because we're going to be running our bots on this, we do want to install a few dependencies, mainly Java as well as our net framework. So we will jump right into that and get rocking. Okay, so we are live now in our new server. Again, it's really no frills, just basic Windows operating system. They do give us, to start out with, Internet Explorer. I'm not a huge fan, just really because they put tons of security measures on this where it's almost unusable. So first things first, I like to always install Chrome. So what we'll do here is you want to open up Internet Explorer. When it gives you them options that, I'm sorry, I just closed out of, you could just cancel it or whatever. From there, go up to your tools, a little gear up here, tools, internet options. You're going to want to change some security settings. So uncheck the enable protection mode, custom level. With this, you scroll down, you're going to find enable downloads here. Disable, you want to click enable, click OK. Are you sure you want to change the settings? Yes. Apply. Are you sure you want to change the settings? Okay. Okay. So we're good there. From there, I have Chrome version 79.0 here at this link. I will post this link in the description down below, so you can just choose that. You'll see it is a 64-bit version. So paste the link, click enter, come down here, click save. Once this is done, you click run, and you can close Internet Explorer. Me, I unpin it from the taskbar. If I could, I would uninstall it, but for whatever reason, AWS won't let me. Now we got Chrome running, so we're good there. With this, our next task is going to be to install the .NET frameworks. So for that, you want to click on the Windows or the search bar and just type in server manager, and you'll see it pop up here. This is customary for all AWS servers. Oh, there's Chrome. Minimize that. We don't need all that. So this takes a minute to load. What we're going to want to do is click add roles and features, but you'll see collecting inventory data, so it takes a little bit. So while that's loading, we'll go back to Chrome. You're going to want to install Java, so just do a search for Java, and you'll see this first link, Java download. With this, I always recommend always go to all Java downloads, and then pick this Windows offline 64-bit. This should be sufficient for pretty much all bots or programs that you're going to be using. Once that downloads, you'll see it down here. You're going to want to install it. Minimize Chrome. This is install Java. So that's going. We can minimize that. Come back here to the server manager page. We should be good to go now. Again, it just takes maybe a minute, 2 minutes. So to install the .NET framework, you're going to want to click Add Roles and Features. From here, click Next. Next again. Next again. Next the fourth time. And now you'll see .NET Framework 3.5 and 4.7. You could effectively just click this and go about your way. I prefer, just in case anything needs these features, to make sure all these features are clicked. Some of them they'll ask you, are you sure you want to add the feature? If anyone has any input on this or finds that any of these are no good, definitely again leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear why, so on and so forth. So once that's all set, you got your .NET Framework 3.5 features all selected, 4.7 features all selected. Click Next. Click Next again. Next again. Let's see. And from there you can just click Install. And this is going to take a little while. You don't have to keep this open. It actually says you can close this wizard without interrupting running tasks. We're going to keep it open for now, but just minimize it. Let's see, Java is done. We are good to go from there. So bada boom, bada bing. Now the server's done. We can get in. You can open up Chrome. You can go and install whatever you want. Say you're doing AYCD. Come over here, install your AYCD. We are set. So again, definitely love having you guys. Any questions, any comments, drop them down below. I'm here to help answer them. We do have an awesome Discord group. Make sure you jump in that. Other than that, that's it, man. Stay tuned for the next video. You know what? There is one more thing I want to show you guys. So let me do that real quick. But definitely stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be showing you guys how to work AYCD and doing that stuff. And if you bear with me, let me jump back here to my instances. Hold on. Okay, so we're here on our instance page. Close that. If you recall, when I was setting up this instance, I mentioned the C5N large was plenty and that we could always change that. So I did want to cover that real quick, just because it's very important. So what I like to do is, so the C5N large, it's great for initial setups. If you're setting up for a drop that's happening maybe tomorrow, anything like that, you can run this instance. It's not very costly, so you could accidentally leave this running for a week and it won't cost you that much. However, when it does come drop time, or you're running for restocks, or you expect that something might drop and you're going to be doing quick tasks, what I recommend is you're going to want to change this instance type. So you do that, you're going to want to, again, just like we did to connect, right click anywhere here, go to instance state. This gives you a few options. Here we're going to want to just stop. Definitely don't terminate it. That will delete the instance and you'll have to restart over. So just click stop. This will shut down the instance. So anything you had open, make sure it was saved prior to doing this. Anything like that. Let that process. And once it's all set, it takes a minute or two. And sometimes this page does freeze, so you have to read and things like that. There we go. So now it's stopped. Again, right click, go to instance settings. Again, tons of options, all kinds of things. The only one we're worried about here is change instance type. So again, we can now bump this up from the, I think it was 2 CPUs and 5 gigabytes of RAM. You can change this. So we're on a large, you can go extra large, 2XL, 4XL, 9XL. Really, 2XL is about the biggest I ever go. I think it's like 21 gigabytes of RAM, 8 CPU, stuff like that. You could go larger, up to you. So say we change this to 2XL, click apply. right click again, instant state, and now you'll see we have the option to start. So you click start, start it, and now we have a beefed up server. If you're ever wondering which instance type you want, if you come over here again to the left column, you'll see here the link underneath instances. It says instance types. If you click that, it will load up all the instances, tell you all the info, how much they cost, things like that. So if you recall, I mentioned the C5N, the computer optimized. So we're going to go instance family, C5N. These are all computer optimized, and you'll see, so we have our large was 2 CPUs, 5 gigs. We could do the 2XL is 8 CPUs, 21 gigs. And you see the difference in price. So if you're running, again, just set up, 10 cents an hour is much better than 40 cents. I like to run for restocks. I will leave, like this server, I'll probably leave on most all the time, just to run for restocks or quick task, anything like that. So I use this, the C5N extra large. This gives you a little over 10 gigabytes of RAM, 4 CPUs, 20 cents an hour. Really, that's plenty. Or I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong price. This is 40 cents an hour. The other one I like is 80 cents an hour. What a big difference. You see the difference here. 40 cents an hour, like I mentioned earlier, I'm paying 1/5. Let me pull my calculator up here. So if I leave this server all the time, it's 40 cents an hour. It's 24 hours in a day. $9.60. I'm paying 1/5 of that, because remember I paid $300 for 1,500. So I'm paying $1.92 per day to run this server constantly over 30 days. $58 is my cost to have pretty decent server running. Of course, if I wanted to bump that up, I could pay, twice as much, pay $115 a month, and I could be running this all month. 21 gigs, 8 CPUs, 25 gigabyte network speed, all month for $115. You can't beat it. And you know what they say, you can't beat them, join them. Again, get on these credits, guys. I'm not sure how long Amazon will be offering them. I have heard rumors that they're starting to phase them out. So once that happens, we're going to have to look for alternative methods of cheap and effective servers. But until then, use this. Use these servers. If you want to cook, this is where it happens. So good luck, everybody, and we'll see you guys out there.